Right here on NBC Sports California, along with Ray Fosse, Dallas Braden. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. A's continue to hit home runs. They've homered in 8 consecutive games. They lead the American League in home runs as well. And Fosse, let's start with you. The good news is Matt Chapman, one of their best power hitters, is starting to heat up. And when that happens, we're going to start seeing more long balls, specifically from Chapman.
Well, the great thing about Matt Chapman, he's going to play every day, which we have known that forever because of his defense. Now he's starting to swing the bat. It started in St. Petersburg against these Rays. He had a big opposite field double as well to help the A's win the ball game. This ball blasted over Phillips' head in right field. So he started to use the whole field, which I think is very important for Matt Chapman. He comes back to Coliseum, pulls the ball down the left field line. 9-game hitting streak. He's hitting for power. He's hitting for average. Unfortunately for him, he started low with regard to the batting average, but the fact that he's hot, the fact that he's playing every day, that average is going to come up along with the rest of his production.
Well, the A's will face the curveball specialist Rich Hill tonight. The A's saw him last week in St. Petersburg. In Dallas, he still showed he's very tough to hit with that breaking ball.
Well, he is a spin doctor in every sense of the word. And when you talk about guys that have confidence in their curveball, Rich Hill is a dude who comes to mind first and foremost, not only because he can start you off with it for a strike, but he's putting guys away with it as well. We're talking about 10 punchies for Rich Hill last time out. 6 innings, still took the loss against the Oakland A's, big home run. But for Rich Hill, it's about getting that curveball over, putting it away with that curveball as well. And you're right, I think they got something to hit here against the lefty.
And the question always is, do you look for the curveball from Rich Hill if you're a hitter? Who knows, but he throws it a lot, and we'll see it a lot tonight. For the A's, Sean Manaea, the big left-hander, is going to take the hill. He is looking for his 4th win of the year. So a couple of lefties tonight set to square off in Game 1 of the series, the A's and the Rays.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Pacifico. Head to PacificoDelivery.com and get beer delivered to your door now. Pacifico Beer. Please drink responsibly.
Well, for DirecTV and AT&T viewers in Sacramento, coverage of the Spurs-Kings game is airing right now on NBC Sports California Plus, which can be found on the channels listed on your screen. For more information, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com or call your TV provider. You can also stream the Kings games live on the MyTeams app. Welcome back to the Coliseum, everybody. Friday Night Baseball. There's the A's wrapping up this long homestand with a 3-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays. So Rays, A's, first of 3. Sean Manaea is going to be the starting pitcher tonight, and he will, at any moment, lead the troops out onto the field. So the A's, all white home uniforms on a Friday night. The Tampa Bay Rays with the gray pants and the dark blue tops.
Maybe Jays, maybe Rays. It's easy enough to do.
So here come Manaea and the Athletics. So we are set for baseball from the Coliseum. Nice night here in Oakland. So the A's will try to bounce back after losing the final 2 games in that series to the Toronto Blue Jays. See if they can do it tonight against a good Rays team. And here is the Rays starting lineup, brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. Arozarena is going to DH. Margot is in left. Lau is at second. Diaz is the first baseman. Brasso's at third. Zunino is your catcher. Kiermaier's in center. Adames at short. And Brett Phillips is in right.
Big Sean Manaea on the mound for the Athletics. 3 wins. His 3rd win came against these Tampa Bay Rays. However, just went 5 innings. Got tremendous bullpen help. 3 relievers, but the big one was Yasmiro Petit giving Bob Melvin 2 innings, and then Diekman and Trevino. And the A's won that game. It was the Rich Hill and Sean Manaea game, a 2-1 game. But Sean Manaea threw too many pitches in 5 innings. He threw 100 total in those 5 innings. He'd like to reduce that tonight, go a little bit deeper in the game.
A's will line up like this defensively. They'll have Kemp in left. Canna's going to be in center tonight. Laureano is your designated hitter. Piscotty's in right. Chapman, Andrews, Lowry, and Olsen with Sean Murphy doing the catching. So Ramon Laureano gets, as we like to say, half the night off. He will DH, but no center field, at least at the beginning of the game. Mark Canna is out there. Mark Canna just took a baseball and threw it up into the second deck just to make sure his arm is loose. He made it clearly.
And you know what? You know, Cap, I think the fact that Laureano is DHing tonight, he is from left to right center. I mean, he's all over the place. So for him to get off his legs for a half a game and basically hit 4, maybe 5 times, that's a plus for him.
First pitch of the game to Randy Arozarena, who kind of maybe doing the same thing that Laureano's doing. Arozarena always in the outfield, but he's the DH tonight. Takes a strike, 1-1 to count. 6:41 start time tonight. A temperature of 66 degrees. Bunt attempt, and it's a strike. Looked like Arozarena tried to pull the bat back, but Bill Miller called it a strike. Either on the pitch or maybe Arozarena did not pull the bat back in time. Either way, it's a strike. 1-2 the count. Canna's there, playing in the sunshine for at least the first inning, and he grabs it.
Number 13, Manuel Margot.
So 1 out here in the top of the first. There's Bill Miller, the crew chief and home plate umpire. Eddings, Knight, Morales. So that is the same group that was here for the Blue Jays series. They're going to stick around and do this series. So the A's and these 4 umpires, well, they'll be sick of each other by Sunday after working together for a week.
Not as much as Brian Gorman and his group.
Doesn't mean they don't like each other. They just may be sick of each other.
And you know what, Cam, I would think that with the ball that was hit to Mark Canna, that Stephen Piscotty was yelling, yes, to you, not to me. Because remember, it was Chris Bassett's game early.
Little pop-up for Lowry, and he grabs it. So Manuel Margot is retired.
But that is a tough sun field in right field until it goes down. And
so Stephen Piscotty had that tough ball that was hit to him, and he just lost it, couldn't see it, and that's what he's looking into. So it's understandable because kind of the way the sun sets.
Yeah, that sun is not high in the sky at this point. It's low, and Piscotty is looking right at it. 2 outs. Here's Brandon Lau.
Well, one thing we remember about the series against the Rays, there was not much hitting with the club. I mean, it was just one of those series that nobody went off the charts. Close games, playing indoors at the Trop, of course.
Well, I think that was really good for the A's to have to experience those tight-knit ball games, and we've touched on that, but trying to climb out of a funk offensively, and that's one way to kind of do it, is force yourself to have these good quality at bats. Maybe the hits don't come, but you see some approaches start to shift, maybe because of that little bit of a lack of production.
Kevin Cash knows exactly. I mean, watching the game last night when the Rays came back and bit the Angels, he had that look like, it's no big deal. We're down 3-0. What's that? But that's one thing every club has to be concerned about. And I'm sure the A's thought about that as well, that if you have a lead late, and the A's had just a 1-run lead against the Rays with Rich Hill and Manaea on the mound, and that's where the bullpen did an outstanding job. A couple of hits in 4 innings, and that was it.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Lau, and a good first inning for Sean Manaea. Bottom of the first coming up. Starting lineup brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. Cannon center, Laureano the DH, then Olsen at first, Murphy will catch. After that, it's Chapman at third, Lowry at second, Piscotty in right, Andrews at short, and Tony Kemp in left.
Veteran Rich Hill on the mound for the Rays. Very familiar with this mound here at the Coliseum, having pitched for the Athletics. The 1-1 record, the loss came. Gave up a 2-out walk to Matt Chapman, a 2-run home run to Sean Murphy that just got over the left field wall, and that was it. Only gave up 3 hits in the game, or 2 hits in the game actually, and he's only picked up 3 throughout the game. So fastball, curveball, take your pick.
Just like you said, you can't look for
Well,
it.
yeah, what do? You
Yeah.
You look for a curve? That doesn't seem natural for a hitter.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And I still say, I'm a believer, look fastball and adjust.
In that start, Rich Hill struck out 10 and walked 2. But he made the mistake. It was enough.
Yeah, it sure was. And Sean Murphy hit that one. And then, of course, the big one against a steal that went probably through the back wall. Well, yesterday, the 1-0 from Ryu. He's going to take a pitch. No, he's not. He's going to take it down the left field line for a home run. And that's what Mark Canha did. 5th home run of the season, first ever career leadoff home run. He's only, what, 80 behind Ricky? Good luck.
We all need goals, right?
Yeah. But if he gets close, Ricky's going to come out of retirement.
And it's a leadoff walk. Rich Hill, not a guy who walks a lot of people, but he walks the leadoff. And here's the defense behind Rich Hill. Margot, Kiermaier, Phillips in the outfield. Brasso, Adames, Lau, and Diaz on the infield. Mike Zunino is your catcher.
You guys remember Laureano hitting a leadoff double and then was thrown out at third base. And that was an opportunity for the A's. They had so few opportunities. But that was Zunino catching and throwing out Laureano at third. Better to be aggressive, though. Just kind of know the situation.
Canha bounces off to his lead. And there's a strike. So it's 0-2 to Ramon Laureano, hitting .259, 7 homers, 15 RBIs. He's got 9 hits in his last 22 at-bats. Of those 9 hits, 4 are home runs. So a bat that you have to keep in the lineup, even though you have to give him a day off, and that's what he's getting by DHing and not playing center field.
And that's what's great about Mark Canha, his versatility, playing all 3 outfield positions, very capable.
Bob Melvin was asked about Laureano DHing, and he said, listen, this is 17 consecutive games with a game. You know, 7 days with the game for the A's. They're on day 15 of that 17 straight. He said, I got to do this with some of these guys. And that is a very long stretch without a day off.
You don't think so much about, well, you say, well, it's the beginning of the season, but it's still every day.
Yeah.
It is every day, and it wears on you, especially every pitch, every at-bat. And for the manager, grinding.
Yeah, I think everybody's looking forward to Monday, where there is an off day. Curveball, and that's a swing and a miss.
And that's a quick pitch.
Number 28.
So that's out number 1, and here is Matt Olson.
Well, you're talking about a guy in Rich Hill who's experiencing the best whiff rate he's had on this pitch, the curveball, since 2017. So he's got a great feel for it. You know what you're going to get, 2 strikes more times than not, but as you guys have pointed out, curveball is just not necessarily a pitch, especially from a guy like Rich Hill that you're going up saying, yeah, give me that one.
Here's Matt Olson. Been interested in this matchup tonight, guys. The Hill-Olson matchup. If you remember the start that Rich Hill had last week, he dropped down and threw almost all of the pitches to Olson from the side.
Well, if you remember,
Olson it did not look like he was picking it up all that great.
No, and Kite, that is an outstanding assessment, because we didn't see Rich Hill, and Matt Olson didn't see the regular arm slot from Rich Hill until his final at-bat of the game. And we talked about Rich Hill buying himself an at-bat later in the game with that approach.
This one's hit well to left center field, but it's playable for Margot, and he grabs it. So that time Hill did not drop down. He was up over the top.
Now back. The catcher,
You know, I think that's where Rich Hill is. Of course, he's been around a long time, a lot of adversity, you know, on the field, off the field. And he knows exactly what he did against the Athletics on the 26th of April. And, you know, to your point about dropping down, he probably think, well, I'm early, I'm going to go over the top or, you know, 3/4. And then, you know, maybe later go to it.
That's right. He may flip-flop.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what good pitchers do. They remember Zunino was behind the plate in that game. So he also, in their meeting, I'm sure, talked about certain things.
Here's Murphy. Quick throw to first.
After all, he only gave up 2 hits. So it's not like the A's crushed him. 2 hits in 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, a couple of walks that you mentioned. But, I mean, just a phenomenal game for the lefty.
Curveball stays a little bit high. Here's the home run that was the difference in the game.
And that was only the difference, and he walked Matt Chapman. 1 of 2 walks, and then the fastball a little bit up. And I think Bob Melvin said it best with the elevation, the launch angle. You normally don't see a ball go out when it's hit that high, but that's the power of one Sean Murphy.
How's the Rich Hill move, Dallas? Not bad?
That's his probably B move, B minus, maybe even C move. You're just kind of throwing that over there, letting Cannon know that you know he's still there. But that short slide step move, probably Rich Hill's better move, working off of his slide step home.
Inside, 2-0 now. Murphy at 218, 4 homers, 13 RBIs.
Murph got the jam shot the other day, infield in, but you look at the way he has swung and his batting average just a little over 200, but everything it seems he hits hard.
And he was ready for a 2-0 fastball and he fouled it straight back. Rich Hill kind of going over the signs with his catcher Zunino. Hill with a nice play falls down and he trickles one to first and it works, and that's a very nice play by Rich Hill, and that's how the bottom of the first comes to an end. Replay.
Well, you guys ready to be blessed with some raw, unbridled athleticism?
Oh boy, here we go.
Athlete Rich Hill, defend your position.
Here we
go. Get him, lefty. just roll it over there.
Here we go, Ray.
He had the entire break to think about athlete.
Guy falls down on the mound, and Dallas is, wow.
I mean, I don't know. Just the wherewithal, the presence of mind here to gather himself.
Now, the wherewithal, if he follows true to form, then he doesn't have to fall all over himself. He could have just caught the ball. Look how far fallen over and then has to reach back. You know, be Greg Maddux and just square yourself up to home plate and win 16 Gold Gloves.
But then, Fosse, you're not going to get the style points for the leg kick and the finish after you release it. I mean, there's no highlight for you at the end of the night.
He almost hurt himself, too. You know, your pitchers are athletes, but in reality, you're not. I mean, seriously. Was it Marcus Stroman who did similar play down the third base line and backpedaled, rolled the ball over about 20 hops over?
Yes, it was.
Stroman.
Yep.
Brasso in the air. And it's Piscotty and right who grabs it. So the fly balls to Stephen Piscotty. 2 quick outs here in the top of the second.
Yeah, Stroman actually, he caught that ball behind his back on the ground, working his way down the slope on the backside. And you're right, Fosse, just kind of got rid of it and 46 hopper on over to first base, get the out.
And in both cases, fortunately, they were accurate throws, even though it took them forever. If you're a first baseman saying, please get here, you know, is he going to make it?
1-0 to Zunino, hitting .217, 6 homers and 12 RBIs.
Well, he crushed the ball last night in Anaheim. Ooh, over both bullpens.
Yeah, I saw that too. Shift for Zunino. Infield and outfield both playing him to pull. Zunino hit that home run against the A's last week in St. Petersburg and hit it off one of those rings above Tropicana Field.
That's right.
It was headed out over the fence. It hit the ring. It bounced back in play, but it was one of the rings that if it hits, it's a home run. So he obviously was awarded a home run.
Well, a lot of guys are swinging 3-0. You saw a couple of the Jays swinging 3-0, and not surprised at Zunino. You could see kind of his left foot twitching a little bit, like I'm going to swing.
Swings and misses on 3-1, and now it's a full count.
Well, and I've started to develop a little theory where if you've got that green light 3-0 and you actually do get a good, decent swing off, I felt like that kind of puts these hitters into swing mode.
You're exactly right.
And he comes right back with the same pitch to Sean Manaea. Gets Zunino swinging. 6 up, 6 down for the A's left-hander Manaea. By Google Cloud, this is the strikeouts that Hill had against the A's last Monday in St. Petersburg. And very interesting. I see a lot of curves, obviously, but the location, a lot of down and in on the curveball, which obviously makes perfect sense. But most of the pitches were in there, so he'll try to get inside on a right-handed hitter with his fastball some too.
Well, it's just very slow and deliberate. It's almost like he's putting you to sleep. And then all of a sudden the ball's on top of you. So you definitely have to be prepared.
2-0 to Chapman. Here's your pitch usage. The curveball is thrown 40% of the time. That's the highest curve percentage in the big leagues this year.
And you know what? I think you can eliminate those last two.
Last two, forget about it. Yep.
Because that's just a courtesy percentage. But you could probably almost go a greater percentage curveballs than fastballs. But he's got a good mix of just those two pitches.
So 40% curveballs, and opponents are batting 182 in at-bats ending with the curveball. So there's a reason why he throws it a lot, gets people out with it a lot. And it's really no different than it was back in 2016 when he was with the A's. We were sort of mesmerized by his curveball when he started pitching for the A's, and then you just get used to it that that's the way he goes about his business. Pitched well for the A's. He was 9-3 with a 2.25 ERA in 14 starts in that 2016 season.
Shook off a fastball. Here comes a curveball.
And there it is. And Chapman kind of fought it off. Waited.
Well, guys, the one thing I remember about Rich Hill when the A's acquired him, I remember seeing him at Fan Fest. Very, very personable. And had a horrible spring. And we're saying, who is this guy? He's going to be in the rotation? Just absolutely terrible in spring training. So was Bob Welsh when he won 27 and won the Cy Young Award. But Rich Hill, I mean, was phenomenal. And it was almost with the blister problems that he had. It was too bad, but it just seemed like the Dodgers wanted him badly, which, you know, they eventually got him. But he just stayed with the A's. It's almost like he wanted to stay with the A's.
So leadoff man aboard for the second inning in a row. Here's Jed Lowry. Lowry at .265, 3 homers and 22 RBIs. leads the A's in runs batted in.
Well, this is a fun at bat here to watch, just simply because Jed Lowry, a thinking man's professional hitter, and Rich Hill, we've talked about the coin flip that is curveball fastball selection.
1-1 the count to Lowry with Piscotty waiting in the on-deck circle.
How sweet does that look, guys? Just straight up defense. A little bit towards second base as a second baseman, but I mean, that says a lot about the pitcher too.
That one's going to drop into center field for a base hit. So the A's have 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the second.
10-game hitting streak for Matt Chapman. Or I'm sorry, that's Lowry. Chapman walked.
Well, he's providing opportunities to keep that line moving, Fosse. And I tell you, I get excited about it as well, because you know you've got a guy like Jed Lowry, as I mentioned, pro hitter coming up behind him, and a great opportunity to keep that line moving. And it's at bats like the one that Chapman just put together before that allow a guy like Jed Lowry to come up, take advantage of a mistake. And as I said, you just keep that baton getting passed on down the line. You watch the guys behind you come up and put together a solid at bat themselves.
First pitch to Piscotty on the inside corner, first strike. Piscotty at 214, 3 homers and 7 RBIs.
And it was a 3-2 count when Matt Chapman walked in St. Petersburg against Rich Hill before Sean Murphy hit the 2-run home run with 2 outs.
Piscotty drives one. Left field line, but foul. Just out in front.
I wanted to hear the bang of the sound of the foul pole, because it had the distance, but clearly in front of the foul pole.
So 0-2 to Piscotty. Elvis Andrus is your on-deck hitter. Wow, the second baseman trying to keep Chapman somewhat close. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. So Hill got a fastball on that inside part, right on the corner.
Well, it's got the curve, but man, if he can spot the fastball inside corner, that's no wasting of pitches. He goes right after Piscotty, who came close to hitting a 3-run home run. Piscotty knew it, back to the dugout. Said to Elvis Andrus on his way back, "Pick me up." Reverend Al Green just gave you your walk-up music.
So here's Elvis. Swing and a miss. Elvis Andrus 0 for his last 13 and 2 for his last 23.
Well, unfortunately, and I knew it was going to happen, that they did a comparison with Marcus Semien and his series that he had with the Jays in town, and Elvis was 0 for 11, while Marcus had a very good 4-game series.
Strike, and it's 0-2.
One thing about the outfielders, we saw Kiermaier catch the ball that was actually prevented Chapman from going to third. He didn't catch Lowry's ball, but playing shallow, they get the balls very quickly. As they go back on balls, but I mean, it's the entire outfield playing very shallow.
And toward right center. And Phillips is very shallow in right field.
I think we've talked about it before, guys, that they're going to be more drop in front of the outfielders than over their heads. And it's almost like if it's hit hard enough over your head, you can see it and go get it and get it back in. But it's those ones that drop in front of you because you are playing deep that can frustrate a team, especially a pitcher.
A lot of pitches for Rich Hill, 33 so far. Toward Phillips in right, now he comes in, and he's got it. So that is the second out here in the bottom of the second. He's trying not to let this opportunity slip away as Kemp with it. Kemp at 205, he's got an RBI. Eight hits, 39 at bats, one double.
Put the overshift on, and I think Tony Kemp is one hitter that thinks opposite field in those situations.
So first pitch, call the ball. Well, the A's as a team have really raised their batting average with runners in scoring position. Remember, early on it was not very good for a while, but now it's all the way up to 257. Pretty good now for a while as the ball passed Hill, but right there is Adames, and he grabs it.
One thing about Rich Hill and his curveball, he's thrown some that are hard down and in, but he's also left some up, as he did with that last one. And you could consider it a hanger, but sometimes you don't want to swing at it because you have to provide your own power as slowly as it's thrown.
Kemp hits it hard, but right into the glove of Yandy Diaz, the first baseman, and that'll do it. A strand a pair, no score after two. And the Rays, first of three. As Kevin Kiermaier leads it off, Adames to follow, and then Phillips. So left, right, left against Sean Manaea.
And there's your little drop down that Sean Manaea just brought into Kiermaier.
Kiermaier slaps it foul, and it's 0-2.
Do you think Rosarina said, if Kiermaier's playing center, I'm not going to play left tonight in case there's a fly ball to me to not have him cut? I still can't believe that. I mean, and the look on Rosarina's face like, I'm ready to catch the ball.
So outside corner, strike three call. That is the first out, and just moments ago, Dallas Braden spoke with Bob Melvin.
All right, fans, I'm here with the skipper of the A's, Bob Melvin. Skip, Matt Chapman off to a little bit of a slow start. Does find himself in the middle of a 9-game hitting streak right now. Put together a pretty quality at bat there against Rich Hill. What do you like you're seeing out of the hot corner man right now?
Yeah, he's just seeing pitches better. You know, not some of the awkward swings, maybe a little bit earlier, not trying to hit too early in the count. So whenever you see a guy get deeper in the count, it means he's pretty secure in what he's doing.
Well, and aside from the last two games in that Toronto series, put together some quality games, some tight-knit games over the last 7 or 8 days. What can that do for a ball club coming off that streak?
You know what? It gives you confidence in winning games when they're close, and we've been pretty good this year, so hopefully that continues.
Skip, appreciate the time.
All right.
Guys, back up to you.
Well, yes, they have. Their A's are 7-2 in one-run games, which is an excellent record. And as we mentioned, those games in St. Petersburg were 3 of the 4 were one-run games.
Well, I've always thought that you played those games during the season, and you're fortunate to play in October. It's going to help you tremendously. Not that you wouldn't like a blowout every once in a while, like maybe 3 times a week. Pitchers love blowouts. A lot of run support.
And I tell you, if we could figure out how to bottle some of those extra runs and save them for next week.
Swing and a miss by Adames, and that is 4 strikeouts for Sean Manaea.
Yeah, he's feeling that elevated heat missile right here. Thing just kept climbing and exploding. Ding, ding. Tardy bell for Mr. Adames.
Well, you go back to 2019 in October. It's the last time the Rays were playing here. And it was Sean Manaea on the mound for the Athletics in the wild card playing game. And unfortunately, didn't work out as well as he had hoped. And probably looking back, man, if I'd done this then, it'd been a whole different story. He had just been activated in September, coming off
shoulder surgery, so he is back and pitching well. And I think that's a plus for Sean Manaea and the athletic staff.
1-1 the count to Brett Phillips. Another half swing, and now it's 1-2. Oh, we got a nice play in the suite.
That's what you call a sweet grab.
Another reason to sit in the suites. So how about that inning as Manaea strikes out the side in the top of the third. Game 4 tonight, the left field shot. On a Friday night at the Coliseum. Day baseball tomorrow and Sunday. And then that will do it for what has been and what will be the longest homestand of the year. 10 games.
A nice tour through the AL East.
Yeah. Rays are 3-4 so far. Marquette hit by a pitch.
Tack it on.
Jeez, he's never been hit before, has he? Fastball, elbow guard, doesn't even need it. Just that bloused uniform, man. It's all it takes. It's part of it. So they still say, as a catcher, when you hear any sort of a tick, and usually a hit batter like that, it's not like a thud, where it's like a tick. You immediately say foul ball, and you might get it.
Adames grabs it, takes it himself, throws to first, and that's a very nice play by Willie Adames to turn a 6-3 double play. He fielded it, he looked up, and he realized, this is all me here. I got to take care of this.
Yeah, Willie says it's time to go, and what you do, dials up about 130 on the way over to first base. But this is the athleticism that allows the Rays to move around the way they do. When you've got a guy like Adames that can range left, right, front, back, and has that kind of a cannon to put a bow on the play at the back end of it.
0-1 to Matt Olson. You could not make a mistake there anywhere if you're Adames with Ramon Laureano running. And it's 0-2, 71 miles an hour.
Well, and that's what he does well with this pitch. Changes speeds, location.
See what he does here. Does he drop down? Yes, he does.
Just a show, try to get him to chase it. It's a smart pitcher, and that's what makes it difficult as a hitter facing somebody like that who's not really overpowering if you look at the numbers, but a very, very intelligent pitcher.
And he gets Olson swinging. 3 strikeouts for Rich Hill. Both pitchers are sharp tonight. We're headed to the 4th.
The A's and Ross Dress for Less are celebrating those who are making our communities brighter in the classroom and supporting our next generation. In attendance tonight are many of our teachers. It's been a long, hard year for teachers, and the A's are excited to recognize them at Teachers Night tonight. That was Mrs. Shanks. We know her personally.
Quick throw in time.
Good range by Jed Lowry. Dallas, how much from a pitcher standpoint, I mean, obviously every pitcher likes to have run support, but knowing that you're facing a team that is good, you're facing a pitcher, or your team is facing a pitcher that's good, but it's almost like it's a duke 'em out for 9 innings.
Well, that's exactly the mindset you have to take into an outing where you know your counterpart has the ability to shut down an offense, whether it's yours or anybody else's. And that's why I've always felt like you acknowledge who you're going against, but you have to pitch each and every inning, every at bat, like it's 0-0 regardless.
Chapman throws 2 outs. So after striking out the side in the third, a couple of ground ball outs for Manaea here in the fourth.
Well, out in front, but hit it to the wrong guy. Matt Chapman every day in there. The one game he didn't start down in St. Pete. Machine started at third base, but the human vacuum cleaner is there. You know, Manaea in 3 innings, the first 3 innings, striking out 5, only threw 33 pitches.
One hop. Elvis Andrus with the shift on. 4 pitches for Sean Manaea. That's all he needed for the top of the fourth.
Take that. Games are on sale right now. Suites provide a safe way for groups larger than 4 to enjoy an A's game. 6-person suites start at just $99 per person for select dates through September. All suites include 6 tickets, a private restroom, and Coliseum snacks. For more information, visit athletics.com/suites, and you might get a foul ball. It might be a really good night for you, or a game for you. Could be a day game, but
well, you get a foul ball up there, it's quite a story. I know it's windy and all, but
maybe just enough wind. Who knows?
Murphy, Chapman, and Lowry, bottom of the fourth. Out in front, and it's 0-2.
Well, there's that curveball that comes in as a hitter. You go, I got it, I don't got it. I mean, it's there, and you think, man, I'm really on it, and you just beat it in the ground.
Murphy hit that ball back to Rich Hill in the first inning. That Hill grab, fell down, flipped to first. And that is no swing, says Doug Eddings.
And this is rare when you see a left-hander drop down and throw sidearm to a right-hander. And that is a no swing, even though Zunino quick to ask the appeal at first base.
Well, that is funny because typically against a right-hander, if you're going to drop down, you understand you're going to be creating some arm side movement on a fastball offering. And for a guy who doesn't throw a changeup to the right-handed hitter,
that one bounced just foul. So the count will stay 2-2 to Sean Murphy.
And typically when you drop down, you're kind of exposing the baseball a little bit longer. In this case, lefty to righty or righty to lefty. Try to hide the ball, but it seems that in those particular cases, you're really showing the ball a lot more.
Murphy waits, the 2-2. Hit toward third. Brasso has it. Brasso's throw just in time. So that is first out here in the bottom of the fourth. Hey, coverage of the Coyote Sharks game airing right now. It's on NBC Sports Plus, and for DirecTV and AT&T viewers in Sacramento, coverage of the Spurs Kings game is airing right now on NBC Sports California Plus. It's going to be found on the channels listed on your screen. For more information, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com or call your TV provider. You could also stream the Kings and Sharks game live on the My Teams app. So 0-1 to Matt Chapman, who led off the second inning with a walk. He's had 2 on, nobody out in the second, but could not score. He's with a 19-14 record starting today's action. Driven to left. Margot is there, and he's got it.
You really have to provide your own power and hope you can hit it on the sweet part and get some elevation. And these guys are powerful enough to do it. Just a matter of making sure the ball hits the bat in the correct spot. His job, Rich Hill's job, is to make sure it's not in that spot.
Here's Lowry. Lowry has the only hit in the game. He's got another one. He drives it to right center. Lowry's 2 for 2. So that'll bring up Piscotty.
Well, it's the old theory, just don't do too much. And Jed Lowry got the foot down, puts a little bit away, goes with it perfectly to the opposite field.
Well, you know, guys, I noticed something. As Jed was walking up to the plate, Rich Hill long stare into Zunino. And he sort of gestured, and I saw it, good angle from where I'm sitting here, with his index finger, just sort of pointed to his left, which would be a fastball away to Jed Lowry.
Ball foul at home plate.
And then you could see the frustration on his face after giving up that knock. And that tells me that he's thinking about at-bats previous. Jed got a knock. Does he want to start him off with something a little different?
So 0-2 the count to Piscotty. Fastball is high, 89 miles an hour.
And right there, Cap, is the frustrating thing. Just what you said, 89. You're thinking 89, and guys are throwing 98, 99. And after that high 89 fastball, here comes Uncle Charlie.
There it is at 73. So 16 miles an hour difference between the fastball and then the curve.
Well, we've seen it down around 71, right, to Matt Olson.
Fastball away.
And it's popped up foul.
You know, thing's amazing to me, Dallas. I know that you're into all the things, but the spin rate, and when they start talking spin rate on a fastball, that's what boggles my mind. I can understand curveball because curveball is throw it in, you know, the rotation, and I guess they figure out the revolutions. But to be honest, I have no idea when they talk about the spin rate on a fastball.
Well, we've got a ball game here, and we're going to learn you something.
Okay, good. Learn it to me.
Because when you talk about spinning that high four-seam fastball, you're typically thinking about a ball that can carry itself. How does a ball maintain carry? High revolutions. So you think about a high spinning fastball, that thing's going to hold its plane a little longer. You probably have more success at the top of the zone with that pitch than a ball that's not spinning as quickly, that might not hold its plane as long. And we'll get into the perception.
How much does velocity on a fastball determine spin rate, or does it affect it?
It does affect it, and it's affected, but there are times where you'll see high velocity arms that don't create the revolutions on the ball. Those are the high velocity sinkers. And then you'll have guys like Garrett Cole that can really spin that four-seamer, holds its plane, just looks a little different.
And that one is line foul, so hit hard on a breaking ball
And
out in front.
And you know as good as anybody, Fosse, what a good hard four-seam fastball looks like, and then what a tightly spun 12-6 curveball looks like.
Yeah.
Those pitches are spinning in different directions, but they look very similar because they're so tightly spun.
Yeah.
And that's where you see these pitchers start to attack at the top with the fastball and then spin that big curveball, a la Rich Hill, right off of that elevated heater.
Piscotty hits a high pop-up shallow center. Kiermaier comes in a couple steps and he grabs it. So Hill and Piscotty, and Hill wins that battle. No score after 4. Pitchers duel so far between Minaya and Rich Hill. No score, top of the 5th. Yandy Diaz, Mike Brasso, Mike Zunino, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in this Rays lineup. Fastball a little up and away.
Well, amazingly, Sean and I threw 12 pitches and striking out 3, and then threw 4 pitches and having 3 ground ball outs in the next inning. I mean, to be as efficient as he was in the strikeouts, probably, to me, as impressive, if not more impressive than the 4 pitches for the ground ball outs.
Fastball up and away.
He had 3-0 to Zunino, swung 3-0, then back-to-back changeups and struck him out. That's the only 3-ball count he's had tonight.
What I like about what he's got going right now is he's getting the ball and he's back up on the bump, ready to attack.
Bounce toward Elvis Andrus, who charges, throws, and that's out number 1. And that'll bring up Mike Brasso. Well, the Rays come in with an 18-15 record. They're a game and a half behind the Red Sox in the AL East. They're playing well right now. They've won 5 in a row, and they just swept a 4-game set in Anaheim, and they outscored the Angels 26-10. That included that game last night. You guys talked a little bit about it, where Angels thought they had the final game of the series won, but the Rays scored 7 runs in the 8th inning and won the game. So the Rays went into Anaheim and swept all 4. That's hard to do anyway. Against any team, good, bad, doesn't matter.
Well, Andrew Heaney himself struck out 10.
Here's a look at the changeup. We're so way out in front.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 for Sean Manaea.
Pull the string again. I mean, Sean Manaea with that 90+ mile-an-hour fastball and then pulling the string with the same delivery. He's got all of his pitches working. I mean, you have 2 opposites in the 2 lefties tonight in the way they're pitching and the frustrations on both sides and how they're trying to approach the lefties.
Here's Mike Zunino, who struck out in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, you figure you got one lefty that you got a pretty good shot of picking out what's coming with Rich Hill. Whether or not you're going to be able to barrel it up is another story. And a guy like Sean Manaea, as we're seeing right now, spinning the entire kitchen sink and doing it well. Very tough to try to predict.
A broken bat pop-up. Elvis Andrus goes back, makes the catch. That's 15 up and 15 down for Sean Manaea. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by PG&E. Visit safetyactioncenter.pge.com for safety tips.
No score, bottom of the 5th inning. 2 hits for the A's, no hits for the Rays. Good A's fans right there. Rich Hill kicks and deals, and the first pitch is rolled foul. Andrus, Kemp, and Kenna. Elvis hit a fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning. Fastball at 89 in there first time.
I mean, Rich Hill, the way he threw that last pitch, looks like he's just out there throwing a bullpen, and Elvis just happens to be standing in, tracking pitches, ho-hum, rocking into the heater.
Adames throws in time, 1 away. What is the wind doing tonight? We need to see if it's helping or hurting anybody.
Or not mattering at all.
Not much. Not much tonight. So, not that it matters, as we have learned. The flags aren't doing anything. So just a little bit of help to left field and center, but really not a whole lot tonight. So pretty calm conditions, not getting a whole lot of wind kind of coming into the bowl and swirling around.
Well, and you know, guys, where I'm sitting down here, have the opportunity to watch the players in and out before the game, during the game, as the relievers will make their way out to the set of bullpens. But that was a question that was asked earlier this evening was hey, DB, what do we got? Wind, direction.
Interesting.
And that, you know, just let you know they're watching, they're thinking, and every little bit of information. And we're not saying that they're going to start attacking guys based on 2 feet of help or 2 feet of help on their side, but it's something that has caught on.
0-2 to Kemp.
I would love to have seen that at Wrigley Field today, because it was blowing hard in.
Coming in off the leg.
14 singles. And he said, don't even think about it. They could not believe the outfielders are playing so shallow. So, yeah, that would have been great to see it.
Kemp swings and misses, and that is strikeout number 4.
The center fielder, number 20, Mark.
Well, it just seems like Rich Hill knows when to drop down, when to go over the top. This time, after dropping down and missing with a pitch, comes back over the top 3/4 and drops a hook in. It's almost like he's saying, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to beat me with on a breaking ball. I'm not going to give you a fastball to shoot out to left field.
Here's Canna. Well, speaking of good pitching, interesting happenings in Cleveland tonight.
Yeah.
Wade Miley, starter for the Cincinnati Reds, has a no-hitter through 8 innings.
Take him out.
The score is 0-0. The Reds are batting in the top of the 9th. They need to get a run.
Wow.
Diaz over. He's going to have a play. Foul territory, and he's got it. Canna slams, and I mean slams, his bat at home plate. He may have broke his back. Hey, Ace fans, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Break free from the big 3 and save with Xfinity Mobile. First pitch to Kevin Kiermaier, a slider for a strike. Top of the 6th inning, no score between the Rays and the A's. Kiermaier struck out looking in the 3rd. 3rd inning is when Minaya struck out the side. He's got 6 strikeouts. So there's the pitcher's numbers so far, and a whole bunch of zeros. Kiermaier hits a high fly ball to right. Piscotty circles underneath it, and that's the first out. Well, that game in Cincinnati that we just told you about, the Reds have scored twice in the top of the 9th. So Wade Miley gets a couple of runs. Reds are still batting, and Miley will head out to try to finish his no-hitter in Cleveland against the Indians. So we'll keep an eye on that game, because we love no-hitters. Yeah, they're great.
Well, when the Cleveland Indians are playing, there's a guy named Bieber that usually you're thinking there's going to be a no-hitter.
Yeah.
And not Justin. Don't call me Justin. Wade Miley.
0-2 to Willie Adames.
It's crafty left-handers, Kuiper.
Yep, got to be careful. Quick miss, struck him out. 7 strikeouts for Minaya.
Well, he's very efficient. And I think that says it all right there. 0-2, let it go. Adames tells you right there the type of pitch it was. By the way, Dallas, when you as a pitcher see somebody slam their bat down like Mark Canha did, makes you feel pretty good.
Well, it lets you know that you are right where you need to be. You know, that's what they say. The deja vu experience is that's just reminding you that you're right where you need to be on your path here on this rock. And that's what that does for a pitcher. It says, job well done. Yeah. Execute.
I'm driving a hitter crazy. Right where I need to be.
That's it.
That's what happens.
Whiff percentage in the zone for Sean Manaea. It's up this year a lot. So he's getting a lot more swings and misses in the strike zone than years past, and that's a good sign. High whiff percentage in the zone. You can go in there and get swings and misses. That's a pretty big deal.
Especially all throughout the count.
Strike 3 called outside corner. Manaea is dealing, folks. He's got 8 strikeouts, 18 up, 18 down, no score. Bottom of the 6th.
Visit to the Coliseum, buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much, much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app right now. Be a good idea.
Bottom of the 6th inning, no score with Ramon Laureano leading it off. The pitch count for Rich Hill is 72. Kittredge is starting to throw out in the bullpen. There's the right-hander Andrew Kittredge.
Rich Hill with Laureano is his 20th batter that he's faced. He's thrown 15 first pitch strikes.
The shortstop, Willie Adames, is...
I would call time.
Says he's good.
Doesn't look good to me. He knows, though, so we'll see.
And now it's 1-2. .69 pitches per start. So he's just not a guy that's really going to go deep in the game.
Well, you got to figure that the Rays probably have a pretty good idea of a game plan that they've laid out for Rich Hill a number of times through the lineup, the kind of swings guys start to take against him. As you can see, the guile from the crafty lefty. And there's just days where that kind of stuff might not be working as well as it does on other days. And you meet the end of your road.
Laureano, high fly ball toward the bullpen, and hustling over there is Phillips in foul territory, and he stops and he makes the catch for out number 1. It's the Ultimate Performer, brought to you by your Bay Area BMW centers. On this date 5 years ago, one of the greatest moments in baseball history. Bartolo Colon, first home run at the age of 42, oldest player to his first major league home run. Randy Johnson, the previous holder, was 2 years younger when he hit his home run in 2003. But one of our all-time favorites, Bartolo Colon, hit a home run in San Diego.
I love that they all ran up the tunnel. San Diego. Well, you know, as big as he is, you felt eventually if he made contact, got into one, he was going to be good. And he was good.
He was good. He was fun to have around.
Yeah.
Fair ball, diving play by Diaz, and he's going to have to hustle to the bag himself, and he beats Olsen there. Rich Hill was not going to get there in time.
Rich Hill froze.
Well, Diaz made a sensational play, diving behind the bag.
Well, watch Rich Hill, the pitcher. He just stands there. But all of a sudden, the first baseman, Diaz, looks for the pitcher, and he's not there. And then presence of mind and said, oh, I got to do it myself. And that would have been a major collision. What a play. That's a double taken away by Diaz, but that's what happens when two pitchers are pitching as well as these are, Hill and Manaea.
Well, I tell you, Matt Olson, pretty lucky there. Just when you think about Diaz and his momentum and his weight coming down on that bag, popping the bag up, and Matt Olson's foot hitting almost instantaneously after. See Rich Hill going to buy a ticket to a great show put on by Diaz.
So 2 outs. Here's Murphy. Murphy. Shallow left. Margot hustling in. Margot into a slide, and he makes the catch. So the Rays, a very good defensive team, and they show it here in the bottom of the 6th with a couple of terrific plays. As Sean Manaea goes back to work. Tampa Bay Rays still looking for their first hit. They are looking for their first base runner. Manaea has struck out 8. And his pitch count is at 59.
Amazing.
Rosarena fouls it straight back. Rosarena has hit a fly ball to center field, and he has grounded out to second. High, just a little high, looks like a changeup.
Well, this is the 3rd time through the batting order, and as a hitter, as a pitcher, you just try to remember what you've done. As a hitter, what the pitcher's done against you, and conversely, what you as a pitcher have done against the hitters.
That one misses badly, and there is the first base runner of the game for the Rays. That's a leadoff walk. So that'll bring up Margot. Here's a message by Pacifico. First pitch to Margot, and that misses outside.
And if you guys recall, and I know you do, Sean Manaea is going to get a visit from his third baseman and catcher. But in the 2-1 victory, Manaea and the Athletics defeating Rich Hill and the Rays down in St. Petersburg, it was a Sean Murphy night. Threw out a base runner. I think it was Margot who attempted to bunt. Came up and threw a bullet to first base. Did Murphy to get him. Blocking balls, of course, hit the big 2-run home run.
There's a strike. Fastball down around the knees.
Well, I thought that was a great visit by Sean Murphy and Matt Chapman. Just kind of take stock of the situation, bring you back to focus.
Margot fouls it right side.
And up to this point have not had a reason to have a mound visit, so utilize them.
I'm with you.
Whatever you've got left and whatever. I mean, first time for Sean Manaea to pitch out of the stretch, and that was a good time, especially after throwing the first pitch to Margot out of the strike zone.
1-2 pitch inside. Wade Miley has taken the mound in Cleveland in the bottom of the 9th with a no-hitter. Reds leading the Indians 3-0. Wade Miley. Rosarena has got a good lead at first. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup. 9 strikeouts for Sean Manaea.
Well, and this change piece has been on its best behavior all evening long. We talked about Sean Manaea's ability to compete in the strike zone, even with 2 strikes, but with the secondary stuff as well. We're not just laying heaters in here, folks. That's pulled string changeup. If you're going to swing, outstanding. If not, you're still punched out.
1-0 the count to Brandon Lau. Strikeout and a ground out for Lau. A little bit low. Chapman, lone defender on the left side of the infield. He's in on the grass a step. Foul back. Good swing by Lau. So 2-1. Lau's got good power. 5 home runs. There's the alignment, and you see the outfield just slightly shifted toward left center, but not much. High in the air, right center, hit pretty well. Piscotty back. Piscotty near the wall. Piscotty up against the wall, grabs it. It was such a high fly ball. Piscotty had time to get back there and kind of gauge himself. He knew he was close to the wall, but he knew he also had just enough room.
And that kind of a swing by Brandon Lau on a breaking ball. Stayed back almost like he knew it was coming, and you're right. Right near the wall was Piscotty. Total concentration as he was approaching the wall. Little mini leap and able to bring it in, and that is big. What we show the blue, that's the wind blowing out.
Not much there. Grounded to short, 1 hop. Andrus has it. He'll go the short way, and that'll do it in the top of the 7th inning. Still no hits for the Rays. Still no runs for anybody. Brought to you by Pacifico. See the road trip coming up. A's will have Monday off. They'll be in Boston Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to play the first place Red Sox. And then they will head to Minnesota to take on a struggling Twins team. They'll come home for the Astros for 3 and then back out on the road down south to Anaheim for a weekend series. So that's the next 2 weeks after the A's get through the weekend set here against the Rays. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts to the bullpen for the first time. The Rays will bring in Andrew Kittredge. Good numbers all around for this right-hander as he faces Chapman, Lowry, and Piscotty. No score. Bottom of the 7th, and on the first pitch, Diaz grabs it, and Chapman turns around, heads back to the dugout. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th for Rich Hill. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. 79 pitches for Hill. He's just not a guy who's going to pitch real deep into games.
He's given up 4 hits to the Athletics in 12 innings in 2 starts and 2 runs. And those 2 runs, 2 of the 4 hits coming in St. Pete. Of course, the 10 strikeouts there, the 4 strikeouts tonight. Just another fabulous performance by the veteran Rich Hill.
Here's Lowry. Yeah, there's a fastball first strike.
They're going to maximize everything they can out of that lefty. Squeeze it for all the juice.
In the air toward left center. Still in the air. Kiermaier turns around, it bangs off the wall. And Lowry's going to have a double.
What a night.
3 hits for the A's. They all belong to Jed Lowry.
Sure would be nice if Jed Lowry had somebody on base in front of him the way he's swinging the bat. Great inside-out swing. Talking about ball carrying. I saw the ball that Lau hit to right field, kind of died a little bit, but this ball just kept carrying, and halfway up the wall next to the Ricky Henderson sign. And then when it came off, I mean, Jed's going to have a double anyway, but Kiermaier just could not get to it. 10th double already for Jed Lowry.
Well, I can tell you that conversation right there is about that ball carrying. As you can kind of hear, or I can kind of see Jed say, you just never know the time of day. It can kind of mess with you.
And one of those conversations, Brandon Lau, who hit the ball.
So meeting at the mound with the pinch hitter Seth Brown standing in the batter's box. So Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, heads back to the dugout. The left-hander warming up quickly. That's Jeffrey Springs. So here's Brown. Go-ahead run at second base with 1 out. Kittredge delivers. Swing.
By shaving, if he kept his power. Shaving Seth Brown.
Brown takes that one close, a little bit low. Three hits in the game, and they all belong to the Athletics. Brown taps it foul, trickles behind home plate. So 1-2 to Seth Brown.
And Jed Lowry came into the ninth plate hitting .265, and 3 for 3 doesn't hurt. Just an amazing both sides of the plate.
In the dirt, blocked by Zunino.
Well, it'd be nice, as you said, Fosse, to have a guy like Jed Lowry at the plate with a guy like Jed Lowry on second base.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're quite there yet on the rules thing, but
You never know.
We'll check on the Atlantic
It
League.
could change.
Never know.
You can put your hottest hitter in the batter's box at any time you want for 2022. Brown base hit right center field. Lowry's going to round third. He's going to score, and the A's take a 1-0 lead. Well, that changes everything, gentlemen.
Yes, it does, sir. Left the pitch up to Seth Brown, and as we have described, pinch hitting is difficult. But get on top of it, Browning, and he did. Crushed it to right center. And with Jed Lowry at second, he did not need himself to drive himself in. He was brought in by Seth Brown. Well, that's been pretty consistent by Bob Melvin to pinch hit Brownie for Piscotty or vice versa. This time it definitely pays off for the Ribby.
So Brown comes through. Now he runs, and the ball's bounced into right field, a base hit. Brown's going to head to third. Elvis Andrus, a perfectly executed hit and run, and the A's have runners at the corners.
You know, the best way to get a guy out of a funk is to do exactly that.
Well, you're absolutely right, boss. Put the game in motion. You take the thought process out of the equation. You almost remove the athlete from the process. And Seth Brown does a phenomenal job on his way to second base. Check it out. He can hear the sound of the crack of the bat. Instead of hitting the dirt, he picks up Kotze, cruises on into third, and an outstanding execution of the hit and run by the green and gold.
Yeah, that was perfect, and then that's something that when you have the whole right side of the infield open and you have a hitter at the plate who for all of his career has lived on opposite field hitting, that was perfect for Elvis Andrus. Broke his, what 0 for 15 coming into the night's game? Taken. On the whole left side of the infield open now for Tony Kemp.
So the A's got to get this run home. Bunted in the air, and it's caught by Zunino. And then he dropped it, and now they're calling foul ball.
He's saying it was taking the ball out of his glove. But I think that little bit of a collision by his third baseman might have caused it.
Well, Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, is the guy who called it.
See, there's the. He wasn't transferring it. Watch him look at his third baseman. Right there, he sees him coming in, and Rousseau gets out of the way. But in the meantime, ball hit the palm of the catcher's mitt, up, and popped up. And Bill Miller was the one had the back of Zunino was to Miller.
Andrus runs. The ball is hit down the left field line, but foul.
So all of a sudden, a lot's going on after nothing's been going on.
So the count 0-2 to Kemp. Andrus runs again. Pitch out. Going to throw through to second base. Safe. Close play. Rays will maybe take a look at it.
Well, Zunino surprisingly just threw the ball on the ground. That might have been intentional to avoid maybe airmailing. They're going to take a look at it. See if Elvis got his hand in before he was tagged on the rib cage. That's a good play by Adames with the ball. Hitting the ground, hitting the grass.
That last look, last replay we just showed is probably the best look because you can see the hand and then the tag. But let's see.
Well, and what does it, if indeed this call is overturned, is the placement of the foot of Willy Adames.
Yep.
It takes over that center lane. Now watch Zunino. Looks like he slips here a little. Right there, that front foot gives out. And that's why that throw ends up skipping off the grass, which might have helped them.
Yep. When
you think about the moisture created, a dewy night, marine layer. So that ball's going to skip, and you see Adames' foot. Yep.
So it goes as a caught stealing.
And Dallas, you know you're right, because if as a base runner you know, well, as an infielder, if you know the guy sliding head first, you can put your foot there because the hand is not going to do any damage.
No.
All it's going to do is stop you. But it's much different if you're going feet first. That foot will not be in there by the infielder.
1-2 pitch to Kemp. A little bit outside.
When you think about it, the quickest way for Elvis to be able to get to that bag, straight line. The fact that he has to keep his hand closer to him and then try to weave in around the backside of that foot.
And Kemp swing and a miss, struck him out. A's get a run. First run in the game, so 8th inning coming up. A's 1, Rays nothing.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Get a quote at mercuryinsurance.com.
So it's a 1-0 A's lead. A run on 5 hits for the A's. No runs, no hits for the Tampa Bay Rays. Mike Brasso steps in. First pitch, top of the 8th inning, is a fastball from Minaya high. 74 pitches for Minaya. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Brown stays in the game in right field. Brasso swing and a miss. The changeup.
And I can tell you, I like what I'm seeing out of Sean Manaya's body language right now. We talked about him getting the ball back, getting on the mound, ready to roll, but he is rocking up there, back and forth, staring a hole right through Sean Murphy. He doesn't even see Rousseau right now.
76 pitch coming up. It's unbelievable.
There's a shot, and that's going to be the first hit. And it's going to go all the way to the wall in deep right center field. Brasso is going to have a leadoff double here in the top of the 8th. So the Rays are in the hit column. So Sean Manaea got through 7 innings of no-hit baseball, but the no-hitter's not to be tonight.
Well, back to that changeup. But this one, up and hittable for Brasso. And he does. He drives this thing up into the gap. And I think it goes without saying, the first mistake for Sean Manaea tonight.
Well, and a good visit, like you said before, about Chappie and Murph going out after the walk, and a good visit by Scott Emerson as Yusmeiro Petit gets loose.
So Petit warming up in the A's bullpen.
Yeah, this is not a matter of pitches. It's a matter of just every batter and being so close. The A's scoring last inning, and the Rays bouncing right back with a leadoff double.
Here's Zunino.
This is a guy you have to be careful with because he swings hard.
Rays have a couple of right-handers in their bullpen, Strickland and Fairbanks. First pitch, a strike to Mike Zunino, who has struck out, popped to short.
Well, another reason that mound meeting is good is just because nobody was on base doesn't mean that those last few innings haven't been high leverage emotionally.
That's right.
Line drive center field, base hit. They're going to wave Brasso in. Here comes Canistro to the plate. It's late, and the Rays, 2 batters into the top of the 8th, tie up the ball game. Brasso double, Zunino single.
Number 39, Kevin Kiermaier.
Well, they tried to go inside and unfortunately left it outside. Look how far Sean Murphy had to reach to try to get to the ball, and mistakes are there. So read it perfectly, and he took off, and no hesitation to be able to score the tying run. And the fortunate thing for Mark Canny, threw it low enough to hit the cutoff man, so Zunino had to stop at first or stay at first.
Here's Kiermaier. Kiermaier waves at a breaking ball. Another swing and a miss. Kiermaier has struck out looking and hit a fly ball to right field.
Just having a tough time picking up the lefty here.
Strike 3 call. So Kiermaier strikes out for the second time. That was kind of a no chance at bat. Bob Melvin's coming out, and he's going to make the change. Manaea can't be thrilled with this, but what can you do? 7 1/3 innings for Sean Manaea. Gives up a run on 2 hits. He'll get a huge ovation, well deserved. He had a no-hitter through 7 innings. So Yusmeiro Petit coming in. For the Cincinnati Reds, he no-hit the Cleveland Indians. Final score 3-0 in Cleveland. 114 pitches, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts for Miley, and it was a 0-0 game till the 9th. The Reds scored 3, and then Miley finished it off in the bottom of the 9th. So congratulations to Wade Miley, throwing the 4th no-hitter in the major leagues already this year.
That's the amazing thing. If you look at the number of games that have been played, we're just in the mid-30s on the season.
So when it's time for change, the Expedia Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up and brake experts. Petit comes in with Joey Wendell, the pinch runner, at first. Adames, the hitter.
Well, because Petit had such great success against the Rays in St. Petersburg, a couple of appearances, he faced 10 batters, and the only blemish was a walk. Joey Wendell to speed, so when I say that, it might be a hit and run that the Rays put on.
And that's going to be a base hit to center field. Joey Wendell will round and stop at second base. So Adames gets his first hit tonight. Still only 1 out.
Well, a 4-seamer up on top for Adames. He actually is able to get on top of this little top spin. I thought it was a good move by Petit to check on Wendell over there at first. We know the Rays are not afraid to put the game in motion. They had a shift on. But Adames gets it done. Single right back up through the box.
So 7 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, and he cannot get a W. What can you do? Pitched great, but so did Rich Hill. Hill went 6, Manaea 7 1/3. So here's Meadows. Meadows is hitting for Phillips. Seven home runs for Meadows. And the first pitch floats outside.
I'd love to catch Meadows out front on a changeup, see if he can roll something over.
And now it's 2-0. Rosarena is the on-deck hitter. This is kind of what the Rays do. They just pick at you.
Yes, they do. And they, a lot of times, would do it late.
Just ask the Angels, right?
That's right. Well, the A's, same type of team that they will do some damage late.
Meadows got one to hit and fouled it back.
Yeah, definitely the Angels found out firsthand, actually back-to-back games.
Angels are leading tonight. They're hosting the Dodgers for the weekend. Angels 5, Dodgers 1, top of the 6th inning.
Dodgers best team in baseball, right?
Not right now, they're not.
No, they are driving the struggle bus.
Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Never heard of a struggle bus, but you're exactly right.
You never thought that that team would be driving it.
No. That's deception right there.
Yes.
It's all deception. That's a pretty good fastball to hit from Petit.
2-2 pitch, grounded to Olsen. He scoops, he fires to second for 1. Back to first, Petit is there, safe. He may have straddled first base.
Must have, because otherwise the throw was there, but it happened so quickly. So quickly. Only the best at it. And Elvis Sanders had to throw to a moving target, and was his heel on the bag?
Nope.
Nope, Gunner didn't make it. Nope. Might as well. That's huge.
Well, he got the execution. He threw the changeup. Matt Olson did a phenomenal job of getting it over to second base. Elvis did a great job of making the turn. And Petit originally found the bag, but just wasn't able to stay on it with that right foot.
You guys remember last inning when Elvis Andrus was thrown out at second? It was the game between Hill and Manaea in St. Petersburg to play at the plate that Andrus got in safely.
Well, the only thing that's scary here, it doesn't look like there's anything to overturn it, and you're gonna, if you lose your challenge, you still have the 9th inning of a 1-1 game.
One of the toughest plays, I think, is for the play that just occurred, and that is Elvis Andrus throwing to a moving target, because you really have to concentrate on throwing to the bag. Hope your pitcher is going to be there. In this case, you hope he can touch the bag, which Petit evidently did not. But it's so easy to think about throwing to where he's coming from, not where he's going to. And that creates a huge problem.
Here's a Rosarena. The first pitch swing and a miss way out in front. Rosarena was the first base runner for the Rays. He walked in the 7th inning. Curveball hit high in the air to left. Kemp is there. Kemp waits, and he's got it. So a run on 3 hits for the Rays. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 1-1 game. Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Quite a ball game tonight. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 errors for the Rays. They didn't get a hit till the 8th inning. The A's 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. Hill and Manaea both pretty dominant. Jed Lowry's got 3 of the A's 5 hits. Seth Brown with a big hit in the 7th inning. So quite a ball game, and we have no idea what the outcome's going to be. So bottom of the 8th, top of the order for the Athletics. And there's a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. It's Pete Fairbanks, just back from the injured list, and he is a very important bullpen piece for the Rays. 27-year-old right-hander, 6'6", Pete Fairbanks. So Meadows, Margot, Wendell, and Smith have all moved around or moved into the game. One and one to Canna.
Remember, I believe the Rays were close to unbeaten in games that saw Nick Anderson, Pete Fairbanks, and Diego Castillo pitch in them last year.
Yep.
And that's a heck of a 3-headed monster to have.
We really first saw Fairbanks in the postseason last year. Rays didn't play the Rays last year and pitched a lot in the postseason for the Rays, and he was good.
Well, the Uncle Charlie he's thrown to Mark Canna has been pretty impressive. I mean, he could throw that one pitch and probably have a lot of success.
See if he throws it here. Laureano and Olsen to follow. And that's a base hit to left field. Canna's on base for the 3rd time. A single, hit by a pitch, and a walk.
Hey, Cat, can you hang a curveball?
Yes, you can.
I mean, he threw some outstanding curveballs to start this AB, and then look at this one. Thank you very much, says Mark Canna. Just floats in there, stays up about belt high, and line drive to left field by the A's leadoff hitter, who has been on base 3 times tonight. Walk, hit, and now the single. He's trying to make it happen, and they're half of the 8th inning.
There's Laureano. 97 miles an hour from Fairbanks. Fairbanks was originally a Texas Ranger, but he was traded by the Rangers to the Rays in 2019 for Nick Solak. Solak has become a pretty good player for Texas. Fairbanks, a very good reliever for the Rays. Fair trade all around.
Yep. Well, the Rays for sure know how to deal with pitchers. Whether they develop them or trade for them, they have an abundance.
Runner goes, throw to second base, not in time. Canna with a big stolen base.
Boy, and he had a huge jump too. Huge jump.
He picked his spot.
Well, you could see it. I was just going to say, from where I'm sitting here, the camera not on him the whole time, and he was taking those extra stutter steps, anticipating Fairbanks' leg kick. Mark Canna, great job of timing up the big righty.
Canna now 6 for 7 in steals this year. Just another part of his game that maybe goes unnoticed a little bit.
Great job of Laureano taking the pitch also with the jump. I think it's called a strike.
And there's that overhand curve. That one actually, maybe not the location Fairbanks wanted, but right over top. Jim Palmer-esque, Ray.
Yep. Jim Palmer-esque. But hoping he comes in with a lead in the ninth inning. Probably will come in regardless. Petit doing another great job.
Not close. Full count to Ramon Laureano. Matt Olson in the on-deck circle.
I think Kevin Cash's heart rate is about 60. Just never seems like he's upset or nervous about anything.
Strike 3 called right on the corner. Pitcher's pitch.
Yeah, Ramon thought he had walked, but I think he's trying to deep. That's a pretty good pitch.
You can see the setup, target. They're just wanting this thing to be competitive in the strike zone. You're right, Fosse ends up to be a pretty good pitch. Locked up the laser.
Yeah, Bill, get back behind the plate, because I mean that is one that you hope you're fooled a little bit maybe, and you're hoping that it's a ball, but it looked like a pretty good pitch. Too close to take for sure.
So that's out number 1. Here's Olson. And Olson 0 for 3. First pitch is a strike. Olson had the double taken away from him in the 6th inning by Yandy Diaz. Diaz dove to his left. A ball that was headed down the right field line. Swing and a miss. 0-2, 97, a little elevated.
Well, he's been accustomed to seeing a lot of lefties as Matt Olson, so to see this righty with the ball about chest high, just if he'd hit that ball, it'd probably been a bullet to left field.
And Smith couldn't find it, and Canna's going to get to third. That's huge.
Well, it's something that Ramon Laureano could not do after the stolen base, and that is get Canna to third. To the breaking ball. Smith couldn't find it.
When you're anticipating the ball in dirt. Very heads-up play by Canna, reading that down angle. Sees the kick, takes off.
Infield comes in. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Foul tip. Hung on by Smith, the catcher. And that's the second out.
Number 12, Sean Murphy.
So it'll be up to Murphy.
Going right over the top of the 12-6. Well, guys, the A's went 7 consecutive days without a runner at third in less than 2 outs. And they had one the other day with Sean Murphy with the infield coming in. And he broke his bat. Brought in the third run of the game for the Athletics. But tonight, a couple of opportunities not worked out. Sanders.
Excuse me. Right?
Now Elvis was thrown out at second on a first and third. So Murph do it again. The Rays are a team that you've had a lot of success, at least this year, against.
Aim for the catwalk, Murph.
And right there, 86 miles an hour.
This thing is dirty. Just downhill.
Well, he spiked the fastball, and curveball, though, has been a pitch that's been pretty successful for him. Oh. He called it on Ramon, but he didn't call it on Murph. Maybe a little bit outside.
Yeah, just a touch.
Yep. Wasn't by much, though, and that's one of those that you don't want to put in the hands of the umpire.
And everybody in the outfield was on their way into the dugout.
Trying to get Canna home and give the A's the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. And got him swinging. Pretty good job by one Pete Fairbanks. Storming off the mound. 9th inning coming up. 1-6-0 for the A's. It is the 9th inning. And Yusmeiro Petit faced 3 hitters in the 8th inning. And he'll face Margot, Lau, and Diaz here in the 9th, although Diekman is ready. So we could see Diekman at any point. First pitch is bunted. Chapman scoops. Chapman's throw. Got him. And Margot gave it a shot. Didn't work. Very close play at first. One away.
Ho hum.
Yep. Tell you, scouting reports are out there. Just by that much.
Well, and Matt Chapman used his glove. He didn't even have to try to barehand it. So strong with his arms.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
Number 35,
When you Ford dealers, well, it was close. 7 innings, just outstanding. For Sean Manaea, came close like a rolling stone. 7 1/3, couple of hits, 1 run, 1 walk, tying 10 strikeouts. 4th time he struck out 10 in a game. He had everything working, and it was just basically Masu with a double to right center, Zanino with a base hit to left center, only run, and the boys are proud of him, as we all know. Great performance. He'd already pitched no hitter. In Dallas, to be honest, I thought we were going to have a perfecto tonight and celebrate your perfecto Sunday.
I mean, it wouldn't have been a bad weekend, I tell you that much.
I was thinking about it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
0-1 to Lau. It is the 2-year anniversary of the lights out no-hitter.
Lights out for a number of reasons,
Mike
right?
Fiers. That was a fun night.
Well, it was lights out, but it was also lights out. I mean, anytime it's a no-hitter, there's lights out, but I know what you're talking about.
0-2 pitch off the end of the bat. Lau will check it. May 7th, 2019. Mike Fiers, after an hour and 30-minute delay with one of the banks of lights not working, same one that went out earlier this year up top left center, didn't stop Fiers from no-hitting the Cincinnati Reds. So that was fun.
It's Michael Zagaris. See him?
And he was part of the no-hitter.
That's the time when it feels good.
And Lau with a weak swing, so Diekman gets the strikeout. And that is out number 2 here in the top of the ninth.
Guys, who came out with the all the equipment like he's going to climb? Like one of the players of the Reds, can't think of his name, very muscular young man, came out with all kinds of paraphernalia on like he's going to repair the lights. Can't remember.
Dietrich?
Dietrich, yeah. Yes. Dietrich. That was the funniest thing. Ramon robbing Votto, left center. So good night all the way around.
Diaz goes after the first pitch and fouls it down to our right. No hitters in Oakland A's history. There's Dallas on there, Manaea, Fiers. Those are the last 3. Dave Stewart back in 90. Mike Warren, Vida was combined in 71, and then in 70, Vida said, I'm going to do this on my own. Catfish in 68, that was a perfect game. First year for the A's in Oakland. NBC Sports California did not televise the Catfish Hunter perfect game in 68, and that's unfortunate because there's no video of it. Still photos of Catfish. We did not televise that night. Inside corner, and it's 1-2 to Yandy Diaz.
You know, this is called mixing and matching. You got a lefty starting, you get Petit coming in with his finesse and deception, and now you have the gunslinger and Diekman.
Diekman tried it again.
Well, you don't blame him. You're getting 2 inches in. I'm going to go right back to the well. Figure worst that can happen is what just happened. It's called the ball. You got to go back in there.
And that one catches the inside corner. Strike 3 called, 98 miles an hour. So, bottom of the ninth coming up. Chapman, Lowry, and Brown got a 1-1 game.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. Wouldn't it be nice to drive the most trusted brand in California? Take a test drive at your local dealer today. And by Mercury Insurance. Get a quote at mercuryinsurance.com.
So it is the bottom of the ninth of a 1-1 game. Happy birthday to that youngster. He'd like to see Matt Chapman. They send everybody home happy. Jeffrey Springs, the left-hander, comes in for the Rays. 2-0, 2.57 ERA for Jeffrey Springs. First pitch to Chapman, swing and a miss as Springs starts him out with a changeup at 83 miles an hour. Lowry will be next, and then Brown. So it's been Hill for 6. Kittredge pitched the 7th, gave up the run. Fairbanks the 8th, and now Springs here in the 9th. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch. Astros won tonight. They beat the Toronto Blue Jays 10-4. So the Astros now 17-15 on the year. Up and away, 2-2. Mariners beat the Rangers 5-4 in Arlington. Seattle, game and a half behind the A's coming into today. They are now 18-15.
Rangers were ahead in that game too. They had a 4-1 lead.
Very close. Call the ball 3-2.
Anything down there that you see Bill Miller not give that emphatic strike call, you're happy. Change-up.
3-2 pitch is lined into the glove of the shortstop Adames for out number 1.
Ram drives the game. Boy, you give him to one guy because he's been the offense for the Athletics. That is Jed Lowry. Singled in his first at bat off of Rich Hill. That was to left center. Then a single to right center in his second at bat. Turned him around against Kittredge to bat left-handed. Hits a double off the left center field wall. And tells the boys at second the ball carries okay. And then Seth Brown brought him in as a pinch hitter. And that's the A's run.
Just missed. Close pitch.
Can't even say just a bit outside. That was a bit over the heads of everybody.
With the 3 hits tonight, Lowry has the batting average up to 284.
That's amazing. I like the 265. So Josh Hood doing his job, doing his work. As always.
Strike, 1-1. Angels leading the Dodgers now 9-1, going to the 7th inning in Anaheim. In the dirt. It's a block by Kevin Smith. The Angels put Anthony Rendon back on the injured list.
Amazing.
Took a foul ball off the knee. Didn't feel so great. Dallas, I think Springs likes that changeup.
Well, he's got a good changeup. He's got a good slider. This one right here is just a little slider that works its way down and in. Yeah, but the idea, Kuiper, is he can throw that pitch down and in and then go back to that changeup down and away. Just 2 different movement profiles.
Yeah, it looks like 2 different pitches, but they're thrown at about the same speed. At least it seems that way.
Well, and then you think about that and those pitches heading in opposite directions. How tough that could be for a hitter to try to pick up.
Full count to Lowry.
Shook off the fastball, shook off the changeup, going to the slider.
Tap slowly toward third. Joey Wendell has it. Throws on the run in time for the second out. So the changeup, it worked. Got Lowry out front.
Well, he's just not going anything but soft, regardless of the count, especially in a fastball count. And Joey Wendell just in to play third base, and a very good player, various positions. So Seth Brown, who pinched hit and drove in the A's only run.
Brown swings and misses.
Well, this is the 9th, and you always look at the 10th as a possibility. It would be Diaz starting at second, or at least he made the last out.
Hey, we're learning new rules about the runner at second every day, Ray.
How about that? It's always totally the whistle. Fact. Tell you what, I didn't know the one that got Tony.
I didn't either.
I mean, seriously, that's one when you pull a double switch and you figure it's the last batter, but I didn't know that if it's a pitcher, it could be somebody else.
Deep to right. And that baby is gone. Brown walks off the Rays.
I love it. First career walk-off home run. He drove in the first run off Kittredge. Looked like the A's at that point, with the way Manaea was pitching, was going to take it to the house. They tied it, and Brownie comes up again with 2 outs. And talk about the wrinkles. Here it comes. Stay on it, Brownie. He does. And that's the pitch that got the righties. You thought it was going to get the lefties as well, but he hung it to Seth Brown. And Seth Brown, once he hit his first one in Houston, he has been unbelievable with the long ball. None bigger than this to give the A's the victory. Happy fan there. And the first guy to greet him is Matt Chapman, whose 9-game hitting streak ended tonight, but he's there to welcome him along with his teammates. What a thrilling night for the Athletics.
So the A's get their 4th walk-off win of the year. This one belongs to Seth Brown. Huge hit in the 7th and an even bigger hit here in the 9th. So Seth Brown is definitely the hero tonight as the A's win game 1 of this 3-game series. Another tight battle with these Rays. And boy, these A's-Rays games, they become something special.
Well, you're right, Kai, but it can't help but help both teams as they go through the season. But from the A's standpoint, to do it at home, this is outstanding.
So as Seth Brown puts the headset on, let's hand it off to Dallas Braden. Dallas, take it away.
Well, what can Brown do for you? We are about to find out. Brownie, before we get to you and a couple big ABs, talk about what it's like to watch Sean Manaea continue to roll out there every 5 days and dial up another phenomenal outing.
I mean, he's unbelievable, man. You know, but it's everybody in this clubhouse. That's just how people go around their business around here. You know, we come into the yard and it's straight to business and it's straight to work. We like to have fun, but when it comes down to it, you can go out here. Any one of us is ready to go at any time.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to work on getting you some oxygen, my man, because you deserve every bit of it. Take us through the at-bat. 7th inning, we got 2 outs, Kittredge in, and we know what you're looking to do. Feels like you got a pitch that you could pick out and handle.
Well, coming up there, it was throwing a lot of sliders, so I just wanted something up in the zone. You know, he's got a pretty good heater, has some spin rate to it. So I knew as long as I could get something up, put something in play hard, that was the only thing I was trying to do. And he left me a pitch up, and I was able to put a good swing on it, and good things happen.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And now the final at bat, the 9th inning, left on left, Springs comes up, and you talk about getting that little mixer over the heart of the plate. You did not miss, Brownie.
No, absolutely not. I'm telling you what, it's crazy out here.
Well, I tell you what, man, you go upstairs, clap hands with the boys. A heck of a game for you, big boy.
Thank you guys very much.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Dallas. So the A's 20th win of the year comes in walk-off fashion thanks to Seth Brown. What a night for Seth Brown. And he does need a little oxygen, but well-deserved. So what a ball game. And the A's win it by a final score of 2-1. Time of game was 2 hours and 28 minutes, and it was full of thrills, folks. The attendance was 5,058. Final score, the Athletics 2, the Rays 1. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. Time now for A's Post Game Live, brought to you by Toyota.